Hey everyone, and welcome to the next episode of the Best of 3 Call of Duty Esports Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm not underestimating when I say this is going to be the craziest episode to date. Talk about the news. I'm sure Rex is overjoicing. But guys, first before we get anything else, boys, what is going on?
Josh, I feel like all my ovaries have aligned perfectly. And God has gifted us with a newborn child named Chino, replacing our Lucifer of JKap and eliminating him from the game.
Oh, man.
Finally, OpTic has a chance to redeem itself.
So you're doing
just
pretty good?
rejoice. I'm pretty good. Things are feeling good.
Wow, Sam, how you doing?
Man, doing really good. I'm doing good.
No alignment over here?
I don't. Ovaries aren't quite aligned over here, but
Maybe they will be by the end of the podcast.
I'm glad yours are, though.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Goodness.
Well, whew, holy moly. Okay, so like I said, there was a ton of news this week. Multiple starting roster changes, including the Huntsman, of course, which we're going to talk about all of that. But first, of course, you can find this on Twitter at I'm SalvationsElite at myself, Sam _ batch _ Bo3 and Rex ShadyNero on our farthest right. This is the most unprecedented beginning of a podcast yet. So
insane.
I'm a little bit thrown off right here. Yeah, so you can find us on YouTube, Twitter, or YouTube. Oh, wow, YouTube. I'm breaking.
Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Twitter.
Wow, guys. Sorry. Thanks to all of you who are sticking around. But yeah, so it's been a wild day, really. I mean, basically all the news has gone down. This weekend also was the Challengers Cup, the first, the second of 5 Challengers amateur tournaments this weekend. So we can talk about that as well.
Yeah.
So I think we can transition ourselves straight into the news segment.
My
all
word.
right. So before we even talk about the roster changes, let's talk about the cup a little bit, Challengers Cup, because there was a lot of drama going into this one from last week.
Interesting.
So obviously last week there was the whole Parasite, just storyline, the whole story arc that went down with the DMs and everything else. And he joined a new squad, which his new squad was Charles, Stamina, Willet, and Zyril with Parasite. And, of course, his X squad, West R 2.0, which was, now Glow Frosty, Gintroid, Awakening, Spoof, and Zaptius. 2 of these teams finished in the top 3. Yeah. But which one won? It was Parasite's X squad, West R, taking it home. And Parasite's
Zaptius won, yeah.
Yeah. Parasite's new squad finished 3rd, which was, very respectable for how little practice they had, actually. And and then Exotic and Goonjar, Profizi, Fire, and Pentagram finished 2nd, actually. So really good weekend for them. And pretty wild time. So before we even talk about the Europeans and everything else, what are your thoughts on that with the finish there? I think that West R team's going to be really, really, really good.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I honestly think the trade benefited both teams.
In the long term?
Because, just so the first cup, Charles, Stamina, and them, they got 6th, 7th.
Yeah.
And Parasite's team actually, So Charles Charles's team got 7th, 8th. Which actually, I think he was on a different team with. I was confused, but let me just kind of gather what I'm trying to say here. I think West R is going to be the new dominant team in the NA, but Parasite's team only scrimming for or practicing for 4 days, I think, prior is amazing. So I don't know, maybe in the long run, Parasite's team kind of comes back and kind of gets some more team chemistry. But obviously that West R team looks pretty nasty too. So because actually 3-0 Parasite's team.
Yeah. How many new players are on that West R team? Just one?
Just one. Gintroid, I think, was the.
And how many are new on Parasite's team now?
So last event, Charles, Gintroid, Kaiser, Stamina, and Willet played. So it was quite literally, I mean, like this time it was Charles, Stamina, and Willet, and then Parasite and Zyral. So,
so 2 new
Kaiser and
players
Gintroid
versus
are out.
1.
Parasite and Zyral are in.
Yeah.
Weird, but
Okay.
it was pretty cool though. Like there was some drama heading into it, and I think it kind of like gained some more followers for the AM scene. Like,
It did. It definitely
like,
did.
No one would have thought that there could have been some drama in this scene, but like
there was good
we
coverage this
saw it.
weekend too,
Yes.
which was really cool to see. Again, the Challengers Cups, they've actually dedicated some broadcasts to it for the final like day, and it's been really good. So I've really liked what I've seen so far. I mean, I think it was cool for like Goonjar and Exotic again there to find themselves in the top 3, finish second. I don't know. I think the AM scene's been really, really fun to follow. With
Fellows team, top 5, top 6, I mean.
Not bad. But then Europe side
is really interesting. So this was the first event back where Singularity was playing back in the European scene after they dominated the North American scene for the past few weeks, and they lost to Team War in the grand finals.
they did.
I think the last time they played was in Paris at the Paris Open, and they lost to them in the grand finals there as well. So interestingly enough, like even though Singularity's been dominating, War has had the best of them now twice.
Yeah, and they even beat them twice in this bracket because they sent them to losers bracket and then beat them in the grand finals. So Team War might be the real deal here.
So I mean, you could argue that the best 2 AM teams in the world right now are Singularity and War. Like that's an argument you could definitely make.
Yeah,
I think I might be on that side of things because like they've been insane.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that these 2 teams have been so consistent both online and LAN. I mean, yeah, I think those 2 teams are the best in EU and North America. Honestly.
Probably.
So.
Yeah. I mean, you see that like Weeman and Olsen and Mad Cat, Nasty, Lenny, that squad came in 3rd as well. So what you'd expect in the Train Hard team, which is Whaler's team, and the basically all of the Paris boys, Paris guys, came in top 4 as well. So again, what you'd expect, but surprises near the top. Surprises near the top in the grand finals and like the semis, basically. So we'll keep you guys updated with that direction, with what ends up happening with Parasite and everything else in the future, because there's definitely a lot going on there. But we gotta talk. This is gonna be a long episode because we got a lot to talk about. Roster changes. Which one do you want to start with?
Jeez.
Should we start with OpTic?
OpTic probably, yeah.
Yeah. Let's start with Huntsman.
Okay.
Because Huntsmen aren't even going to be there.
True.
So.
OpTic does play, so that can transition us into the next topic. So, all right. Gunless today, as of a few hours ago, we found out when he found out that he was benched for General on the Huntsman. I mean, this blew my mind. I didn't believe it when I saw it originally, because I saw this afternoon like, oh, General's subbing in for Gunless today. I was like, oh, that's weird. Wonder what Gunless is doing.
Random scrim.
Yeah, I'm like, they're not going to be playing for like, 3 weeks almost? So it's like, all right, maybe not that big of a deal. And then it comes out later, Gunless starts streaming, and he's playing 10s while they're scrimming. And I'm like, what? And then he answered the question on stream, and he's like, yep, I'm benched. I didn't even know.
Didn't even
That's about how he said it. I didn't even know. I didn't even get a text. It's like I was dropped on Christmas a few years ago, and at least I got a text. This time, he didn't even get. He literally did not know the players. I'm assuming this people, the players that were playing the Huntsman, like maybe let him know. But yeah, so we didn't even know that Gunless was dropped until tonight. Guys, what are your thoughts, man? I mean, what is your initial reaction? What's the gut reaction with Gunless dropped General in? I mean, last we saw General was basically E6 last year during Black Ops 4.
Yep.
He hasn't been playing AM scene because he's been a sub and not able to. So it's like, how is this the right move? Is it the right move? First of all, Sam?
So General is not a bad player. Like,
no, he's not.
He was really good in Black Ops 4. When he did that podcast with Hex, he like laid it out like it was like it's true. He really did put up stats last year, but he hasn't been playing. He hasn't been playing AMC like you just said. Presumably his only practice has been maybe 10s.
Yeah, lots of
if he's gotten in.
Yeah, for sure.
But I just gut reaction is just, how can you do that to Gunless? Like, that's just like, oh, like, I don't think Gunless was the problem. I think this whole team, I don't know. It's hard for me to like say anything because I know there's things behind the scenes that we will never know. But
yeah, well, not for like 3 years till Scump talks about it on a podcast.
But like, initial reaction is, I think this is the wrong play, the wrong move for the long term.
It's mind blowing.
I think they would be well better off figuring it out as a squad because they're all nasty players.
Yeah.
I don't know. Rex? I mean,
it's one of the, Gunless must be a bad personality. Like, because they're all good players, so it's a personality issue. So I guess they're seeing Gunless as the problem here. Maybe them, Gunless and Envoy clashing heads all the time, like, it's getting toxic and they don't like it. So they're like, we got to get rid of somebody to make it better. So maybe Gunless is the guy.
Oh, man.
They decided, but the fact that like he doesn't know about it, like maybe it's even a thing where it's like maybe he's the one who's not showing up on time for scrims or something. And so, and this is just rumor, hearsay, but maybe he's the one not showing up. So like, okay, we're scrimming. Okay, he didn't show up. We're just going to have General go in. Like, we're not going to keep begging Gunless to show up to these scrims.
Yeah,
but maybe he is showing it. That's total rumor.
I mean, he defended himself on Hex's podcast.
That's what's
like
so crazy. Is like
he was just on.
He was just on his podcast.
He was
talking about
the
this.
reason why I don't show up like on time all the time is because even when I'm there, we never start on time. So why would I show up on time?
Yeah.
Oh, so then that's the. I feel like it's. That's almost what I would do. I'm like, if you're not even gonna show up on time for scrims, then we're just gonna have somebody else go in.
But it's like, I don't blame him. I mean, like, he's like, whenever I'm on time, the other team's never there, so I always show up like 15, 20 minutes late. Not on purpose.
It doesn't matter
usually,
about the other team, though.
No, I know. I agree. It's not, even though I think Gunless is always there to win, though, at the end of the day, and I've always believed that. So it's just
of course. But
I don't think it's the right move.
No.
He's a good player, but clearly the personality issues and clearly something wasn't working. What would you change? What would you change? They're all amazing players. Who would you change?
I don't think I would have changed anything. Is the problem?
And just keep going. I mean, they clearly think they
before you
need
talk
to change.
about the change. I mean, like the drama of it. I mean, who made the call to drop him?
Scump
and Formal, right?
Yeah,
but like Formal was his boy. Formal was like what? So now, like last year, it all goes down with LG. Formal's on the squad that time, and now this year it all goes down again. Like, bro, what?
I know it. Like you're saying prior to is like, why would you burn this bridge with Gunless
so early?
Like,
it's one of those
say
things.
You wanted to be like, you wanted to try something different. Just be real with him. Now he probably doesn't even want to play these guys anymore.
Right? Like if you're just like a Gunless, like we want to try General. I know this sucks. Obviously something's not working.
Something's got to change.
And like you could literally be like, we're probably gonna get smoked with General, and you'll be right back in. And like we just want to try it. We hope this doesn't like burn any bridges. But like they're literally guaranteeing the burned bridge by not text. Like why would you ever like let that go? We're just not gonna even tell me.
It's just crazy too. Like with like
Unreal.
Call of Duty becoming more of like a kind of a professional organized thing. How do you not just have an upfront conversation?
Yeah.
Like it's a business at the end of the day. You're gonna hurt some feelings, but like this is just like petty like nonsense.
Like, bro,
like what?
Like, what?
How does he not know he's getting dropped until they're basically playing a scrim without him?
Yeah, like you show up to football practice, you're like, oh yeah,
by the way,
we cut you, but we forgot to tell you.
Yeah, sorry. It's like, what?
I mean, but here's the thing. Maybe they have been telling him, and maybe he just hasn't been fixing it. What are they supposed to do? Go over to his house and maybe they have been telling him.
Okay, that's the other thing. So Arcitys moved, like what, 2 days ago, 3 days ago.
I saw on Reddit that like 2 days ago he moved out. Again, that could be like a wrong time frame, but he for sure moved.
No, he moved this week.
Yeah. So
like, in the past week.
So it's like, where's the coincidence?
They were living
there?
together.
Yeah.
That's why it's weird.
Like Gunless is a toxic personality. That's my opinion. I think he's a toxic personality and no one really wants to be around.
I mean, Gunless did talk about how in ROSTERMANIA he didn't have very many options, and he's gunless.
Yeah.
I mean, he's one of the most talented players in the league.
Yeah, maybe
Like-
it's hard. I mean,
It could be a thing where like he may have the best intentions, but if you are seen as a certain way,
He doesn't know how to deliver the
You
right,
just-
the
yeah,
right
like-
way.
if you don't present yourself in the right way, then it's just like there's nothing you can do about it. People are going to see you the way they see you, and it's just like, well, maybe he's just screwed. But
It's insane though, because like we know how talented he is when he's
So
just, like,
talented.
when he's feeling it. I mean, he was one of the best players in World War II.
Black Ops 4, he was putting up
At the beginning of the year, he was
stats.
so
Oh
good.
my word,
Yeah,
which is crazy. So yeah, I'm shocked. I'm curious to see where it's going to go.
he was obviously incredible in Infinite Warfare. I mean, what are they gonna do? What if the Huntsmen get absolutely smoked in 3 weeks? Like, what are you gonna do now? What if General drops like a 0.7, gets absolutely smoked? Like, you're just gonna crawl back to Gunless, be like, please come back. Like,
I bet
what?
they'll make like some sort of trade. They'll pick somebody else up.
So
I don't think
that's
they're
the question?
lacking on
Where does
money.
this go from here? Is this where Dashy or dare I say Octane find their way out?
Ooh.
Jeez,
Ooh, I don't. Maybe
That would be-
Octane's a good one.
that would be interesting.
I mean, I don't know why Seattle would ever let Octane go.
There's no way.
But
There's no way.
because Octane wants to leave.
And I don't know why
Like,
OGLA would let Dashy go. Like, there's no
Mhm.
way, right? That's what I assume. And we don't even know. I mean, I've seen a lot of pros talking about like Octane was talking about like, you think if there's like
if there was
if there was a way for this to
a
be
way to
fixed,
get
it would
out.
be fixed.
like we're trying.
So
Yeah.
maybe we just sound oblivious, but like we haven't been told what the contract situations are. Like, no one has informed
But a
the public about how
gunless-
this works.
but a
trades-wise.
gunless for Octane trade that's like,
Yeah,
not terrible.
right. Unless by having a Gunless on your team, you can't ever get anybody else to come to your team.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think.
Yeah,
that's
no, I
what's
don't
gonna
think so
happen,
either.
But it's
What if-
not like
what if
totally out there.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, Tej and Slasher and Gunless get reunited on OpTic. You
That
got
would
the
be something
Rise
else.
Nation,
I know.
the Rise of Rise.
They just need to get Looney over from Ultra.
Yeah,
and
bring Looney. I mean, that's very doable.
it's doable. He's on the bench right now.
OpTic, the house of egos. Damn.
Yeah,
dang.
The house
So-
of Egos.
I don't know. We'll see. It's I don't think it's gonna work. Personally, I'd be surprised. But hey,
No, it's not.
maybe
Unless
General surprises
General's
us
like
all.
a secretly amazing Modern Warfare player. I
Yeah,
don't know.
but it hasn't seemed that way with what we've seen from him so far this year with
No.
scrims or with the tens and everything else, in my
Yeah.
opinion. But okay, we'll leave it at that for now. Obviously, moving forward, we're gonna talk a lot more about this, and
Mhm.
if any trade rumors start popping up, then oh boy,
Yeah.
we'll be talking about it for sure. So, OpTic Gaming transition there. JKap was finally benched. Rex, he was benched.
Finally. Why did it take so long? We knew this after the first event.
I mean, we'll see what happens. Chino is now in the starting lineup.
Yep.
It feels weird.
Mhm.
It feels really weird.
I know.
It's-
Rex, I want to hear your opinion first before. I mean, this obviously you have to talk first. Rex,
Right,
what's
so-
your opinion on this? Chino for
course-
JKap.
Of course, JKap needed to be dropped or traded if possible, but if any team's smart, they're not going to take him as a trade. So
Right.
maybe that's why he was dropped instead of traded.
Well, bench,
Putting
no.
Chino in, benched, I should say.
Right.
Putting Chino in, I don't know. Chino,
Yeah.
I love Chino. Chino is now a personality
one of
that
your
I
favorite players.
respect. He is one of my favorite players, personality wise, and I don't think he's a bad player. I don't know if I've seen him play much of this game. I think he'll either go. I think he's gonna do better than JKap because I think he just has the passion to do
I mean,
better.
what roles? I mean, that's the weird thing is so Muddog.
AR? We have another AR.
I know.
Like
like
Muddog
Muddog
Slasher
put out a
Dashy,
little video about
and now
that.
Chino. All 3 ARs now on this team.
Yeah.
It's too much.
In the video that Muddog posted, like, yo, he sounded like he wanted to die.
I know. It was really weird.
Well,
He
it's
was-
because Mud Dog's part of the Oak Boys, and
I
he
know.
had to drop his little Oak boy.
Who was-
Like, come
Who
on.
was it that tweeted like, "Are you being held hostage?"
being held hostage?
It was like he was like really like, "What is happening right now?" Is someone like
Dude.
a gun behind the camera is just pointing at you? Like,
you will
wow.
say this. You will say that he's dropped.
Just-
I will say that he's dropped. I swear.
It's just
like
crazy.
What? No,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know, man. The roles just seem like a big problem to me.
Yeah.
Sam, what's your opinion on it?
Yeah, I agree with Rex. Like, if somehow Chino can like pick up like a flex, like be able to play the MP5, then it'll work, but
And Chino is historically the slowest player.
very slow.
Him and Methods are the two slowest players in the league.
Yeah. It could just be a thing where it's just like it's going to be an upgrade simply because Chino is just more skilled than JKap. But at the same point, I don't know. I don't know if he is more skilled than JKap.
I think Chino is more skilled than JKap. I don't even know if I can say it. I think he has more passion than JKap, which is going to make him better.
It is weird
in
because
the
like
long run.
Chino really hasn't given a fair shot since World War II, where he wasn't that bad in World War II.
He was good in World War II.
It just seems weird, like how he kind of fell off after like.
I just don't think
events.
his play style fits very many teams.
Probably not.
He's just really, really slow, and it's hard to play with a guy that plays like that. So I just don't know what role he's gonna play with this team. I don't see him playing a sub. Are you gonna run him at AR then?
Maybe,
I think he's gonna play.
Put him
I think
as
he's
the
gonna play
main AR. Slasher has already been playing the P5 at the end of the year. Maybe you just have Dashy and
then you try to run 3 ARs on like you try to play Cave as much as possible and run 3 ARs. And
then you have Slasher being like the backup AR / Flax. Dashy doing whatever he wants to do.
Dashy basically have to be a sub on every map except for Cave.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know, dude.
Maybe you literally just move him to like a turret position where he just sits in a corner.
Okay, I mean, do you think but at the end of the day, if he plays main AR, does this make them better?
I don't know.
Time will tell.
I think this first event going in, I don't think they're going to do much better than what we've seen. Maybe we might see some semblance of like hope for them. Because, I mean, here's the thing. We got a lot of friends on this team. We got 3 friends, Kenny and Chino. And then you also have Slasher and Chino, who we know they're good friends.
Yeah, and there's a reason
Chino
why he
is
got
a
picked
catalyst.
up.
Chino is a catalyst that can maybe
Unite
remove
the team.
some of the toxicity from this team and make it more of an oasis to thrive in.
Good words.
Yeah.
It's a cesspool. Everybody on that team, it's just toxic. It is. Like, I wouldn't want to be in a lobby with any of those people all together. Like, I would just be like, oh, I can't handle this. Like, this is way too much. But Chino is so pure and, like, he can take it all and, like, mellow things out for everybody.
The one thing that is going for them is, like, they can't get much worse. So it's like...
Yeah.
But
JKap was so bad.
Yeah, like you might as well make a change.
We were saying, like, everyone talks about JKap was like, oh, he was doing, no one says anything. Like, but he's been doing horrendously worse than the league. He's been doing so bad. So I think you could pick up anybody almost. Yes, but it's like it's just like no one says anything about it. It's never on anywhere. Yeah. It just doesn't exist, and that's the part that frustrates me. Just because it's so JKap, he has this history that's been in it for so long, but he's bad. He's just bad. So like so I think Chino's just gonna do better because I think Chino at least has the passion.
I mean, again, I've always liked JKap as a dude, but he probably needed to get dropped. But like, I just don't know if the roles make sense. They needed an aggressive AR, like a Prestinni made sense for this team. As the fastest player you could find makes sense for this team. I just don't know how adding a slower player, unless in my mind, he has to play main AR. If he doesn't, I don't know how this team is better.
Because that team knows they're toxic. They're going for vibes right now. That's why Chino's going in, is for vibes.
Yeah, but at some point, vibes don't matter if you're getting smoked.
Yeah, but right now, you need something to just flush it out, and then maybe they'll make a change with Chino for somebody else. But like, I don't know, like just all the like it's so bad over there, just mentally.
Yeah.
To even bring somebody new in, like Prestinni or something, like it's not gonna help anything. You need somebody who can like is friends with these people and can talk to them and be like, hey, you guys gotta chill out. Like, let's have fun again. I think Chino's that guy. I'm not a big fan of their coach either, but I don't think their coach is good at doing that. But
yeah. Rex has an agenda versus coaches.
I don't have an agenda versus coaches, but we don't give them enough. We act like Rex, they don't do anything.
Did you say Clay calling out Nubsy?
Yes, I did. And I've been saying this already, but Clay is a smart dude. He's been in the thing. He knows what's going on. Like, it all makes sense. Like, these coaches, when are they held accountable for some of these things? And they should be held accountable now.
Yeah.
This is a franchise league.
I was surprised to see Clay even going that distance.
I'm glad he did. He always speaks the truth. He always speaks his truth and what he sees and like is what's true. He doesn't hold back,
Yeah, neither does Gunless.
True.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like
I just don't know how these changes are going to work. I don't believe in them. Either of them. But
Really? You don't believe in them?
especially
Especially the
not,
Hunts.
well, yeah, especially the Huntsman's change. I mean, again, at least OpTic
really,
needed
though?
a change.
But really, you don't believe in the Huntsman chain? What else are they supposed to do? You think they just keep living in their cesspool?
I don't know. It's just weird because it's like last year, Scump played through the whole year after winning the first tournament. And then is that why? Like, is he like overreacting to, like what happened last year? Like where they won for the first tournament. And then instead of
Arcitys had his interview. Arcitys is saying things are toxic.
You know what's
It's
interesting?
toxic
Yeah.
in there. No one wants to play in there.
This could set up Prestinni
returning.
coming in for general.
I can see it.
You almost wonder if Arcitys had more of a say in
Maybe he
the
did.
gunless, because I honestly think those two want to play together again.
I mean, Arcitys is now living with Prestinni.
I have no idea what his living situation is.
I
But
can
like-
see Prestinni.
but like,
I would be nice.
you
I'm
can-
honestly not sure.
You could see in that Hex podcast how like he was like, we're definitely gonna regret this, not playing with each other, and like I think they honestly want to play with each other. Like, so like maybe Arcitys was like, let's get gunless off and bring in
I'll be
Prestinni.
kind of pissed if that happens.
I don't know. Like it could have, that could be a thing. Like where they're just holding in general in for the meantime.
It's possible.
I don't know.
It's possible.
Just a
but-
thought. Just a thought.
I mean, it opens the door for it. It only makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know if that's. Well, we did say they need a guy who's just willing to do it, like just to be the entry guy. And I mean, Prestinni is the definition of an entry
Prestinni,
guy.
yeah.
So
He's
Yeah.
crazy.
I could see it happening. I guess I'd like that more than general, at least.
Yeah.
But
Still
general
scummy.
will be willing to do whatever it takes to win.
Yes.
So in that case, maybe that's the way it makes sense.
Yes.
But I don't know if general. I'm not sure if that's where general thrives as a player, though.
Yeah.
Necessarily, but maybe he can make it work.
Yeah. I'm just
Seeing
mad.
Prestinni on that team would be really fun.
It'd
I mean,
be fun.
it'd be fun.
It just
I'd
It'd be a party. I mean, I'd be down, but
Yeah, it'd be
I'd
fun.
really like to see that. Just like seeing Prestinni and Formal and Scump and Arcitys and Envoy all together. It's just like Prestinni being thrown in there. It's just like, who knows? I don't know what would happen.
Yeah.
yeah, it's not the worst idea ever. But all right.
All right, let's get into it.
We did cover it all. We will be talking about OpTic here in the matchups for sure. So let's get into the predictions. Of course, the meat of this episode. As you guys can see here, I'll switch to the bracket real quick here, guys. There is the
Hey-o.
bracket, the empty bracket. And in Group A, we've got the Ultra playing the Subliners. We've got the Mutineer playing the Rokkr. We've got in Group B now, Paris playing FaZe, OpTic playing London. So it's a pretty like well-balanced groups. I actually really like how these groups are organized because it creates for some kind of like, I think, really fun and interesting matchups, hopefully. So, all right. Want to start in Group A at the top here and go from there. We got Ultra Subliners up first. I mean, there's been a lot of talk of like the Ultra being underrated and like not getting the respect they deserve. Which I could maybe see as they keep improving, but where are you guys at with this? The Subliners looked pretty freaking good.
If it wasn't for last event, I would have been a little bit more.
You would have taken Ultra.
I probably would have taken Ultra, but how do you not pick Subliners here? Should we throw away recency bias and be like, that was just a completely one-off event? But they looked so freaking good.
Oh, yeah.
I'm picking Subliners.
Okay. All right.
I'm kind of rolling on the recency bias train, so.
I'm not totally against the whole recency bias in these beginning rounds.
Yeah.
I think once you start getting Subliners playing against these tougher teams and like these championship rounds, that's when the recency bias can start hurting you more.
Yeah.
But for an Ultra versus Subliners game, Subliners have been looking really good. Ultra we're still unsure about. They look a little bit better, but Subliners seem to they did really well. And they have vets on the team, so I gotta say Subliners too.
Is Ultra still Metals, Methods?
Yeah.
That team.
Looney's benched.
Bance is playing. Brack's not
Vance
playing.
is playing.
Yeah.
Brack's not playing. Yeah. Okay.
It's the same roster. It's the same roster from last event. So
Okay.
I think they've been. I thought they've looked pretty solid, but
Wasn't bad.
I'm going to take the Subliners as well.
Yeah.
I think it only makes sense at this point. I agree. I think the upside's there for them to make a little bit of a run potentially at this tournament. The upside's there for them to have a chance at this one. But I'm very interested to see what they can do moving forward. But we got Mutineers Rokkr now. This is the Mutineers are, in my mind, are an X factor in this tournament. I don't know what to think of them yet. I mean, obviously they won the first online tournament, which I think out of the two so far.
And they've won a local.
Yeah,
They won a local.
it has. Well, they made the finals.
Mm-hmm.
Fine.
Their win, in my opinion, felt a little asterisk-y with some of the issues that happened with the servers in the first event.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in them to an extent, but I'm going to take the Rokkr here. I think they match up well against the Mutineers, and in a rematch from their loss in the finals last time around, I think the Rokkr are going to come back and take this one.
A Mutineers versus Rokkr game is honestly one of the more interesting games I think we're going to get.
Yeah.
It's two teams that have been really good that in a lot of people's minds shouldn't be good.
Right.
True.
But they consistently are doing really well, and now they're going to be playing against each other. And you almost want to be like, it's Clash of Titans, but it's like, these don't feel like Titan teams, but they're beating Titan teams,
They are.
know? So I think this is what's going to be, it's going to be weird how they play against each other. So, but for this one, I think I'm going to go with Rokkr. I think God RX is going to take over.
Definitely.
Yeah. No, Sam, where you at with it?
I'm pretty much on the same boat with you guys. Not to be, copycatting, but I truly do believe Rokkr. In my mind, I think Rokkr are gonna go the distance here. So
Don't give too much away.
I know.
Wow, spoilers.
All I want to say is that I think
Oh my gosh.
I think Rokkr are hungry for their first win. So
I mean, I would love to see the Rokkr win this.
Yeah.
I think the Rokkr winning be really fun. The Subliners winning would be really fun.
Yeah.
Just adding another team to win. I'm all rooting for. I want every team to win. I want there to be 12
you
different
want
champions.
everyone to win.
Yeah, I mean that'd be great, dude.
That'd be
But
awesome.
all right, yep. So we got the same pick so far, guys. I don't like the direction this is going.
You better change it up.
All right, so we got Subliners Rokkr here in the second round. Man,
This is actually a really good
It's
one
tempting.
too. I know, it really is.
it's tempting.
You don't have
So far
Ultra.
this year, there's always that one team that just surprises for the good or for the worse, for the better. I don't know how that
for
English
for better
works.
or for worse.
For the
Yes.
good or for the worse.
Okay. We'll go with it.
All right, I want to hear what you guys have to say first. Sam?
Gosh.
Subliners Rokkr.
So I am assuming, gosh, so Subliners are going to come out hot again in my world here.
Okay, all right.
Rokkr just beat Mutineers. That'll be a big win. I think Rokkr keep it rolling until game 5, Rokkr.
Man. Yeah, I feel like that's, I'm kind of with you on that same like line of thought where like if the Rokkr beat the Mutineers, I think where it would go wrong is if the Mutineers beat the Rokkr.
Yes.
Like I think that's a very possible scenario
Mhm.
there. I would expect either a 3-1 or 3-2 for sure. Not going to be a 3-0. So, but if they beat the Mutineers in my situation, I think the Rokkr would beat the Subliners.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll take the Subliner, or I'll take the Rokkr as well to beat them. Rex, what do you got?
I'm going with the Rokkr for this one
Okay.
as well. I think Rocker's proven consistency, and this is maybe where I'm throwing recency bias out the window with Subliners looking so good. I think Rokkr is going to be more well-rounded. I feel like we're going to be underwhelmed by Mac Melts. And so I think Rokkr are going to beat Subliners. for that
Interesting.
reason.
I mean, I felt like Mac Melts looked definitely solid in his first time around.
It looked okay, but I don't know. He still doesn't feel like he quite. It was a first tournament, and they looked really good, but it was more of a Tatch popping off Zuma.
It was, but maybe that's
It wasn't-
that's
it wasn't
the result
Mac
of how Mac
Melts.
Melts is setting them up
Maybe, but it was one tournament
for sure.
And
No, okay.
So
All right, Ultra Mutineers. I feel like we're all going to be going the same
Yeah.
distance here. I do believe in the Mutineers when it comes to like beating
Yeah.
teams like the Ultra right now.
Mm-hmm. Not a whole lot of confidence in Ultra. Just
No, I mean I don't have a lot of confidence, but again, I do think they're underrated based off like what we've seen.
yeah.
And they're not. Again, it's tough matchups here.
This is a tough pool for Ultra. Like
Yeah, it is.
All things out the window. Like
Ultra has a tough pool in any pool they get into.
true.
I mean, true. But
still,
like, let's say the Guerillas were here, then I'd be like,
Yes.
oh wow, this is a
Mhm.
nice pool for the Ultra, or
Yeah.
you know,
If it's OpTic, Guerillas, Ultra,
Seattle.
Seattle, then maybe Ultra has a chance. But even in there, come on, we don't think Ultra's getting out.
Yeah.
Like if Ultra switch with FaZe, that'd be a pretty good.
Yeah. I just think they're underrated. Like they might be able to compete with this and make this and send this a distance or something.
Yeah.
But I do expect the Mutineers to take this one.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's finish out this group. Subliners, Mutineers. This is a fun matchup. I don't want to see either of these teams lose, which kind of sucks. But one of them has to go. Rex, take us away with this one. I want to hear what you have to say.
Going with Mutineers for this one.
Okay.
Again, consistency. Mutineers have been consistently proven that they can compete at the highest level. Subliners did it once last tournament.
Yeah. It's tough.
Mutineers also been together with their people longer. They have Pharaoh, and I think Pharaoh is better than Mac Melts. So I think it's got to be Mutineers.
Yeah. Man.
Chemistry, the new players. I just feel like it works better for Mutineers.
Yeah.
I mean, I had the Mutineers in the power rankings last episode as the fourth team over the Huntsmen. But the Subliners. I mean, they played the toughest group you could possibly play in last event. They played against the Huntsman and FaZe, even though a waning Huntsman, obviously.
Yeah.
They did lose 3-1 to the Huntsman, so you could say that that's actually a sign that they aren't nearly as good as we think they are, but then they come out and they compete against FaZe.
Yeah.
Take them 3-2. Ah, man. I think I'm gonna go Mutineers here. I'm gonna go Mutineers here. I think I just lean on the side that the Mutineers Dom. I love their Dom. The S&Ds. I trust the S&D more with the Mutineers side. Respawn's a toss up. At the end of the day, I'm gonna take the Mutineers in a 5-game series.
Playing it safe, huh?
Safe?
Sam?
I'm rolling Subliners, baby.
Oh man,
recency bias all the way.
Man,
I don't know, man. They look really good.
No, they look good. That's why I'm conflicted, man.
No, yeah.
I'm conflicted.
I get you. I'm just going all the way with Subliners are a whole new team. We saw it.
Pull the stats.
They beat the Huntsman, take FaZe to Game 5. Obviously lose the Huntsman again, but
it was one tournament. Dude.
I know, but this is.
You think Attach and Zoom are going to carry like that every time?
I guess we'll see.
They hard carried.
They did hard carry. Absolutely, they did.
You think they can hard carry again?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. Again, they played presumably two of the top. I guess depending on your rankings, two of the top 5 teams. And they played really well. Yes, it was one, but I again, like I said, I am rolling with this recency bias here. So, Subliners for me. But
how much of an effect do you think Mac Melts has on that team?
I mean, I think we saw it. Last series. I think that again the roles just played better with him. Maybe like he's for some reason the way
better though.
Like I don't know. Attached and Temp and Zuma just looked like they were actually comfortable finally.
No, yeah, they definitely did.
Maybe just the way he can pick up where whatever it is. They looked really good.
Man, it's hard to say if just Atlanta was playing, just had an off series, or if it was the other way around. Because I mean, them getting 3-1 by the Huntsman was really surprising. I thought after that, like heading into that match, I think the Subliners they took map 1, and I was sitting there like, all right, this is it. Mm-hmm. This is where the Subliners established themselves as a top 6 team for sure.
Yeah, and
then it just didn't come through at all, and they didn't look that good in this series. And so that's kind of why I feel like maybe it wasn't as legit as I originally thought. So
it's not.
Yeah.
Mac Melts does not have that big of an effect on a team. They just had a good game. They were just playing well. They lost to a toxic Huntsman. Like,
yeah. I mean, that's the argument for sure. So
but that toxic Huntsman have 5 individually skilled players, really individually skilled players.
Yeah, who have lost the Mutineers twice.
Yeah.
But,
okay. Well. Whatever.
You cut out a lot. I have no idea what you said.
Nah, it's all good. So I have the Rokkr and Mutineers going through. So does Rex, and Sam has the Rokkr and Subliners coming out of Group A. So go down to Group B now. Paris FaZe lined up here in the first round. I'm assuming we're all going to go the FaZe direction here. I'd imagine at least. I'll send this so you guys can see the brackets here. What? Does that mean you're okay? No, you're right in FaZe. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. In my opinion, I think FaZe is going to come bounce back from in this event and look like the FaZe is what we expected to see the previous in Chicago's homestand. Maybe a little bit of foreshadow for what I'm going to be going with here, but
no, yeah, I think it's hard to deny that.
Paris did not look good.
I still even see a world where Paris can match up that well against FaZe that they can beat them. Like, I feel like it's going to be a 3-1 or 3-0, honestly.
Yeah, I think so as well. I would be shocked if it went 5, and even
Absolutely.
more, obviously, very shocked if Paris took it.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, Rex, do you have anything else to add, or do you just want to go down to OpTic London?
I mean, FaZe is going to do FaZe things and beat Paris. Although, I will say, I feel like Paris is one of those teams that could pull out a win against FaZe just because they're Paris. But I think it's not going to happen. I think FaZe is just going to do FaZe things and beat them up.
Just coming off of the role change, maybe FaZe was a little less comfortable with the role change than what they led on with originally. And I think an extra, week or so of practice is going to be the difference for them. And I really think they're going to be coming out playing really, really well in this
honestly.
in this first match especially. So here it is, OpTic, baby. The JKapless OpTic Gaming in their first round bout versus the London Royal Ravens. Rex, take us away here, man. I mean, you picking your newfound boys?
Let's not use the word boys in relation to OpTic at all. I want Chino to succeed, but
London,
so, he's still a new player on a team that is a cesspool. So I feel like London is going to be more set up to do well here against OpTic. OpTic's still going to have to be learning. I hope the best for them with Chino here, because I think they maybe have a team now that maybe is going to try to win, or at least all the players want to win. Maybe. But I got to go with London.
Yeah. I mean, like London, that they played worse against the same group that New York played. They had FaZe and they had the Huntsman. They looked worse. I mean, the series against FaZe was at least competitive in the 3-0, but I don't think the OpTic squad is gonna have it. I'm gonna go London as well. It's gonna take more than 4 days to get acclimated to the new roster, at least in my opinion. And
I think London is also more acclimated to their new roster as well. So it's
I agree with Shawnee
more time
in there. So I'd expect London to pull that one out pretty easily. So that sets us up with a losers bracket round match here with OpTic and Paris. But first, we got FaZe versus London, a rematch from just last week in the group stages where, of course, like I said, London got 3-0'd. What are your guys' thoughts here? FaZe London.
FaZe will do FaZe things and beat them up.
It's so obvious to go FaZe. But then something's probably going to happen where it's like,
man, I just don't know if it is though.
But all common sense points to FaZe pretty easily beating London.
Like, FaZe wasn't playing well last event, and they still 3-0'd them.
Yeah, so I don't think there's a world where London beat FaZe.
I mean, Simp dropped 50 kills on him on the Arc on Azir.
Azir Cave.
It's hard to imagine a world where London comes out and takes 3 maps off FaZe. Yeah. It's hard to imagine, which I'm not going to imagine it.
It's just not even be there.
I mean, if it's gonna happen, it would happen where they steal like the first hard point, they take a dom, force a game 5, I guess, and then take a S&D off. It's just maybe like a gun runner. They've been playing pretty good on gun runner.
Which the Surge did take S&D off.
They did.
Of
They
FaZe,
did in round 11. So maybe that's the hope there. So
maybe there's a hope.
I just don't see it happening. So I'm taking FaZe. All right. So Paris OpTic in the losers bracket now. Who you guys got?
Man,
Sam.
I was thinking, honestly, Paris, but I might pick OpTic here, which is kind of crazy. It is really crazy.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I was iffy on it when I was looking at it too.
I'm gonna do it. I'm
For
gonna,
the YOLO.
and I'm not gonna look back like I said prior. I just the reason why I'm even considering this is Paris has looked just
Iffy.
very iffy.
I mean, this is a winnable game for OpTic.
It is winnable.
Excuse me.
Like this is not out of the realm of complete impossibility
No, for sure.
for OpTic. Will it happen? Probably not, but there is a chance where like Chino and them mesh together for a series, pop off maybe. I don't know. Especially if we see like a role like where Chino is playing that's like main AR and he's just sitting on a heady or something like that.
Yeah.
And it somehow works for them. I think we could see an OpTic beating Paris.
Yeah, I wish I knew more about the role situation before we were recording this.
Yeah, I don't know that.
We'll know by tomorrow night probably. But if he's playing man AR, I expect OpTic to be at least okay, which they could beat Paris, and I wouldn't be shocked. But I'm gonna take the team I believe that I know for a fact has their roster together, and that's Paris.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have that London-Paris, that European match in the losers semis.
Interesting. This is a tough one for me. With Chino on the team, I kind of want them to succeed. I want them to work their differences out.
Yeah.
And be a great team because they're all super talented players now.
But it's the same conversation every freaking weekend.
It is the
with
same
OpTic
conversation. We're always
Gaming.
like, but they're all so good. Like, they can't be like this all the time. They're going to do well this time.
And
we always hold out
No
this
time, dude.
We always hold out this false hope for them, and it just like never comes to fruition ever.
It like
It's
sounds
it's
dumb
so
to
weird.
keep
It's like
doing
we're
it.
saying Kismet, Zed, and all these other no-name players are gonna beat
Rick has the
Dashy,
fire in him.
Slasher, TJ Halley. Like, they're gonna beat all these players that are so Kenny. They're gonna beat all these players that are supposed to be great, and it just feels weird to say that, but I'm saying it. I'm saying Paris is gonna win. Paris just seems to have that chemistry. They got that solid foundation with each other. It doesn't seem like it's so toxic over there. So I feel like Paris is going to take it.
Yeah, I mean, what Paris
they
beat
together.
They beat Seattle. Let me see.
Yeah, beat Seattle.
They beat Seattle, and then they lost to
The next
Huntsman,
2 games.
and then lost to Rokkr. So they won 3-2, lost 3-1, lost 3-1. So yeah, I mean, I could see them coming out here and being at least putting up a fight, especially in a game against OpTic. So I'm gonna take my chances with Paris.
Yeah,
I think
that Den's had a slower event last time out, so I think this could come back around here and be decent at least. So I'll take my chances with Paris. I like it. So London, Paris here. Man, I think London's got a pretty hefty advantage here. I'd expect a 3-1. If Paris was gonna beat him, they beat him in probably like the Dom, right?
Well, for me, it's an easy London pick because it's London OpTic. On my
yeah, okay, yeah, you got London OpTic.
Yeah, so for me, that's
Rex and I have London and Paris, which is the bracket right here.
Yeah.
I think I got to go to London too, but I don't know. Paris has some mystery magic that I think, I don't know, they could do something, but I got to go with London.
Yeah, no, I'm okay with that for sure, but like a Paris pick wouldn't like be crazy by any means. But I think the advantage in every game mode, you have to give it in every single game mode. Paris, I think London has the advantage, and like the stats show it too. So it's like I gotta go with London here. I think the bounce back makes a little bit sense for Skrapz and for Dylan and especially Weskins.
Yeah.
So all right, well that sets up our winners bracket, baby. Let's go. All right, so our winners bracket here is Rokkr. Come out winners for me here in Group A. The Group B winner is FaZe. And then we've got the Mutineers coming out of Group A as the losers. Well, I do. And London for myself as well from Group B. So that makes a Rokkr-London matchup in the semis. And then FaZe Mutineers for myself. For Rex, it's Rokkr-London and FaZe Mutineers as well. And then Sam's got Rokkr-London and FaZe Subliners. So we've got a little bit different. Me and Rex are like, do we have the same exact bracket?
We have the exact same
Oh,
roster.
no.
Nice.
You better switch this thing up, man. You better switch this thing up.
We
I
can't.
follow him. I go with my gut here.
Well,
with
what do
these
you think
things.
I'm doing?
We can't have a tie. So one of you better.
No, yeah. All right. We'll see what happens. All right. I better pick first here then. All right, I pick Rokkr.
Dude, you think I'm gonna switch? I always go with my gut. I always give my honest answers here.
Yeah.
I'm definitely liking the Rokkr's odds.
How does Rokkr not win here? Is my question. I think they're mad. They haven't won one.
I mean, they've been the best hardpoint team basically this whole season.
I think they can easily beat London. I think it's just
I think SDs are a toss up. They could lose a game. They could win both hardpoints and lose game 5.
True.
But
I don't know, man. I've got a feeling.
The matchups definitely in Rokkr's favor all across the board. It'd have to be a really bad performance from the Rokkr, I think, to lose this, especially in the semifinals where the Rokkr have been here and they're feeling good, and they need a tournament win. And give me the Rokkr all day, Rex.
Yeah, I'm going with Rokkr against London. Again, I want Rokkr to win the whole thing.
Showing your hands.
London's got the new player Shawnee. They looked a little weak last tournament. Rokkr has been showing that they're pretty strong, that they can compete at the highest level. I have Rokkr almost being a tier 1 team right now, so I expect them to go far.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay, FaZe Mutineers for myself. FaZe Mutineers for Rex, and FaZe Subliners for Sam. FaZe has already been submitted for Sam.
Yeah.
He was flirting with some Subliners upset when we were talking about this.
I was considering a Subliners win here. I wanted
to see it. I was hoping you were going to press enter and bang.
No way.
Yeah,
FaZe will beat Subliners.
Think about it.
FaZe will beat Subliners.
Thinking about it, like you could think about it like this. You could think about like, okay, they took them to a map 5. They got close. Now they're going to come back and actually win it. But then, like, what makes the most sense though is that FaZe is like, crap. We got taken to a game 5 by Subliners.
Now we have more
bad.
Comfort with our roles.
Now we know how to actually play against these guys. We're not going to get embarrassed.
Let's clothesline them.
100. We're not going to get 100 point
clubbed on Petro.
Yeah, I think FaZe just take this. Yeah. I was rolling with the recency bias a little bit of like Subliners, but I think FaZe just got this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean I agree. The Mutineers are here and they're looking to beat FaZe, man. I just don't know if now's the time. I think this is okay. Oh, okay, all right. This is what I like to hear. This is what I like to hear. But
so,
man, okay, no. I want to hear what you have to say first. Then we can discuss.
FaZe versus Mutineers. Okay, so we've shown that FaZe are beatable, right?
Okay.
Mutineers is one of those teams that can beat FaZe in these final hours here. I don't think it's totally far-fetched to say Mutineers will beat FaZe. I think we're giving FaZe a lot of credit. They are a powerhouse team, but they're not so powerhouse that they're gonna, Mutineers won the tournament. Mutineers is a good team.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure about FaZe's strategy. FaZe might be almost at the point of trying to almost outslay and just out-talent really hard, where Mutineers almost has a more set-in-stone strategy. Because they're not like the greatest players in the world, but they know what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, like this year though, FaZe is 10-3 in Dom. I mean, Mutineers, that's been their best game of, but they're 9-6. They've been better recently. On Petro, they're 6-1. FaZe is 3-1 on Petro. Don't play Petro against the Mutineers, and you're gonna beat them. It'd be interesting to see what the maps will end up being for that series.
Part of me wants to go with Mutineers because I don't know. Something tells me that's what is gonna happen. FaZe doesn't seem to be able to close these things out. They got a 100-point club by Subliners.
Something deep inside of Rex is
It's like a 100-point club by Subliners. FaZe is really, really good, but something falls apart somewhere.
Yeah.
But so hard to say that FaZe is going to be the loser.
I know, it's not logical, but
they do lose. They do lose.
They do.
Every tournament they've lost, except for the one.
Which was their home tournament.
Exactly.
Okay, so are you going to
lose to Rokkr?
Are you going to make them lose?
I'm going to make them lose.
Oh, Oh, baby. Woo, finally.
I
This is
think
great.
a
This is
Rokkr
great news.
Mutineers grand final is exactly what I want to see. Literally, it might be the best thing I could see for this. I love both those teams. I love the underdog power they both have.
Yeah. So your mind is lined with your heart.
It is.
Sam is smashing that enter button right there.
Rokkr.
Wow.
Congrats, Rokkr. You won.
That.
This is a pre-congratulations. Rokkr has won it all. I'm feeling it, dude. That Rokkr has beaten FaZe. They have their number. They can do it again.
I don't know, man. I have this weird feeling that like the Rocker's best days are behind them.
What?
Even
Really?
as I have them in the final. As I have
Why
them in
would
the
you think
final.
their best days are behind? What tells you that their best days are behind them?
I mean, everyone would have said that TK's best days weren't behind them, but they didn't win again. OpTic won the first tournament of the year, and then their best days were behind them ever since then last year. It happens to teams. Teams figure things out.
But
I think
what
the Rokkr
drama have you seen from Rokkr? What has
it's
come
not
out
the drama.
from Rokkr that makes you think
it's that
this?
teams. The Rokkr figured out how to play this game early on,
They
and
did.
teams are only going to catch up. That's my only point. Their best
You
days
think they're-
behind them. This could come back to bite me. I don't
It's
know if I
gonna
want
come back to bite you. We're gonna replay this clip over and over again as
Yeah, I know.
Rokkr won this one.
I know.
As Rokkr wins the champs
Yeah.
at
But
the end of the year. I hope we play that clip. That's what we got to play that clip.
I can see it now. Rokkr's best days are behind them.
They win the next 6 tournaments.
Yeah, Rokkr's. Yeah. Make a compilation.
I really hope not. But that's why I have this like deep inside like fear that their best days. It's more of a fear, not a prediction.
Okay.
So I want to clarify that. I'm not predicting that their best days are behind them. I have a fear that their best days are behind them.
Okay.
They've been so good this beginning of this year that there's a world where like they just can't. The teams start figuring them out and catch up to how they play the game. They were ahead of the meta, undoubtedly ahead of the meta, especially in hardpoint early on. And so that's my worry is that teams are gonna start figuring this thing out. I have FaZe. I think FaZe is going to beat them. I think this is where FaZe figured out their role change and it really starts clicking for them. I might agree with the role change where I think the upside is actually there with Celium as the main AR for the most part throughout these maps. But this is the tournament where FaZe returns their dominance.
Okay. Rex.
We could have 3
This is
different. This would be
tough.
the first time we have ever had 3 different champions. You could make it happen right here.
I'm still thinking back to my FaZe versus Mutineers game. I don't know what I like more.
Never mind.
All right. So
FaZe is going to lose this tournament. I don't think FaZe is going to win.
okay, interesting. So you're saying they're not winning, but they're making out of the group.
FaZe is definitely making it out of the group.
Yeah.
I think I got to go with Rokkr for the winner for this one. I think Rokkr is
Okay.
better than Mutineers. I think Rokkr has it more established chemistry-wise, vibe-wise than Mutineers does.
I mean, yeah, for sure. Like Rocker's play style is set in stone. They know how they play this game.
Yeah, I think Mutineers do kind of too, but there's
I agree.
something.
But I mean,
there's something
Pharaoh's still new. He's only
mysterious.
been there for 2.5 weeks.
Exactly. Maybe Pharaoh's still the mystery to me. Like they're not. There is something off about Mutineers. Something is off. Rokkr, nothing really seems off about them. They just seem consistent, like smooth butter. You know,
Smooth butter.
So
Smooth butter.
smooth
Okay.
butter. Like they give you what you're expecting. Like you're never like underwhelmed by them. It's always a
Yeah.
fight, no matter
No,
who
I
they're
mean, I
playing
understand
against.
that. Okay, so I mean that makes sense, I guess, guys. So that finishes up with our bracket predictions here. I got FaZe winning. Rex has the Rokkr winning. Press enter there. I guess fill that in for you, Rokkr. And Sam have the Rokkr winning as well, and beating FaZe. Rex has Rokkr beating the Mutineers, and I have Rokkr beating FaZe, or I have FaZe beating Rokkr. So a few different combos there, and different outcomes, but. That leads us to our end of the tournament discussion. So let's, like we normally do every single week, we always give our MVP, of course. So who's your guys' MVP?
Got our X.
My MVP is going to be GodRx.
Pretty predictable.
Makes sense.
I mean, Based off how they
him
play
or
the past,
Alex.
it could be Assault, it could be Alex. I mean, those guys have been the 3 playmakers for them.
You know what's weird? Part of me is like, I think Silly could do it. I think Silly's going to have a step up time. I think Silly at some point is going to step up even more than he has and start pulling like good numbers. I just see it happen.
I mean, that would be awesome, but
I mean, we were talking about how like a Sim, like he doesn't put up stats. He has some of the worst stats in the league. But
another player.
I do think he helps the team win.
Mm-hmm.
There's only so many kills to go around. If God RX is dropping 1.3s or Assault's dropping 1.3, it's like someone's got to die.
Yeah.
And again, in this game, KD, in my opinion, matters less than it ever has because there's no kill streaks. Dying means almost nothing. The maps are small. Spawns are so close to hills in so many instances. Like in Gunrunner, like you die, you spawn bathrooms, you're right back in the hill on P2. Like Ramaza, there's so many hills where you're spawning right behind the hill. Like if you die, it really does not matter at all. So like in my opinion, like some of the players who get ripped on for having bad KDs or like, not putting up the massive stats doesn't necessarily mean they're not helping their team win. Versus some other games where like in Black Ops 4, if you're going double negative, like you're feeding streaks.
Yeah.
So like that's kind of like my, philosophy for this game, I guess, when it comes to like teams and performance. But long story short, I'm gonna have Cellium as the MVP. I think if FaZe is winning this tournament, it's because the Cellium AR change is working and like working in a big way.
Yeah.
And so Cellium will be the MVP there. So team who's most likely to bust. Usually this is kind of like against like your expectations, like a team that you think is gonna like move forward and then bust versus your expectations. Rex, start us off. Why not?
I think everyone's overhyping Subliners way too much. I don't think they're gonna show up like everyone thinks they're gonna show up.
That's probably like a really good one to have, honestly. But
it's an easy one to have.
It is. I would probably say, in my world, it'd be the Mutineers. Looking at my bracket.
Oh man.
Because obviously, like we've been talking about, they've won one, they've been in grand finals of another, and in my bracket, they're losing to Rokkr, then they're losing to Subliners. So they could definitely bust.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say team most likely to bust is probably London because I mean they're the worst, debatably the worst team out of my teams that are like made it to the Final Four or whatever. But it's like now that I've thought about it more and like based off my conversation about the Rokkr, I want to say that the quote unquote the Rokkr are the team most likely to bust, as in they lose to the Mutineers in round 1, and then now suddenly they have to play against the Subliners in the losers finals, and the Subliners are legit. Or like they have to rematch against the Mutineers. Like there's a world where the Rokkr somehow blow it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I guess most likely to bust, I'll say Rokkr, but realistically it's probably London. But the fun, interesting pick that would be quite the storyline is the Rokkr, which would suck because I actually really like the Rokkr and I'd love to see them win one because it's the team that is yet to win one.
Yeah.
Like I was saying. So,
yep.
All right, biggest sleeper team, most underrated, the team that you think could potentially surprise people the most.
I think OpTic is set up here to surprise some people.
Even though you don't have them.
I don't have them in my bracket, but I think they're a fun pick though, simply because of the change. And who knows, maybe something works with Chino. Again, I'm not quite sure what that would be, but
yeah,
it could be a vibe thing.
Yeah,
it could be
it's
a role.
A situation where the roles, Slasher and Dashy, when they're both playing subs on like Gunrunner or something, works.
Yeah, could work really
possible.
Well. So yeah, I'd say OG.
For me, the biggest sleeper team. I mean, this was a tough one. I wanted to put OpTic, but I think I'm going to go with Mutineers. I mean, just based off our conversation, you guys don't seem to believe in them as much as I do.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that makes sense.
I think I got to go with Mutineers. I don't know why people would be underrating the Mutineers. I think they've proven themselves. So I think, but people are. So I'm going with Mutineers. I think they're most underrated.
They're definitely the most underrated team that has won. Like,
oh, for sure. I mean,
yeah, like they're the ones people would say
when
like
you're competing against like FaZe, OpTic, or FaZe, Huntsman, Empire, Mutineers.
Definitely.
So
no one believes in them. I think they can beat them.
So I kind of want to say FaZe is the most underrated team.
What?
Because they got a 100-point club. For some reason, people think there's people out there that just think now they're not the threat they used to be.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the flukiest game of all time.
Could have been.
It literally came down to 3 rotations that like one temp got crazy lucky slipping through towards like A bomb and slipping through on that side. Like I think you know like 3 rotations, it got lucky, and now people are underestimating FaZe. But that's kind of a cheap pick because like FaZe, no one's really underestimating FaZe. They're not really underrated. So
I
would
guess
say
what
Paris.
you're saying. I can see what you're saying with FaZe,
Yeah.
to be honest. Like, no one thinks they're as strong. Like, everyone thinks they're strong, but not as strong as they originally thought they were. But you're like, no, they are that strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I could see them coming out here and literally just dominating the tournament. So that's why I'm saying that. But I would say Paris. Again, in mine, I only have them winning 1 match, but
Yeah.
there's a world where they come out and like
They could shock the world.
they can shock people. If Kismet is firing on all cylinders,
Mm-hmm.
he's kind of been the X factor for him. Is like when he's playing well, Paris starts winning.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
they just been missing some of that SMG slaying that a lot of other teams have. The best teams do.
Yeah.
And so if that starts clicking for him, then I can see Paris being a dangerous team. But right now, that's why I'm like, a little iffy on him. So let's move forward. Biggest sleeper, the most underrated player of the tournament. Rex, who you got?
I got ASIM. I think
Okay, so
ASIM.
moving with our conversation.
Yeah, so it's kind of the same vein of what we were talking about. Silly ASIM, they're not pulling these crazy numbers, but they do help their team a lot. And I just feel it in my bones that ASIM is going to start pulling numbers. Like he's going to start doing something more with like just getting more kills, less deaths, and also still doing his job, making the Rokkr an even better team. So I see ASIM being that guy, and I see him being the most underrated.
All right, Sam.
Money Cheen, baby.
Oh man. Oh baby.
Maybe he comes out here and he proves that he's like one of the best Modern Warfare players to have ever graced this planet.
Chino?
Money Cheen, baby. Yeah.
Money Cheen.
Man. Oh man, that would be wild.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm here for it.
No, yeah. Mine's more of a fun pick, but that would be cool to see Chino like come back.
It would be
honestly.
sick. Could you imagine?
It'd be so
He'd
sick.
drop like a 1.2
Oh.
and just is frying. OpTic like makes the semis and
Oh man, that'd be great.
that'd be lit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be down, but I'm gonna say Skrapz. I feel like he's been
sense.
one of the best S&D players this year. He's been awesome sniping and getting first bloods and really, really effective player. If London's gonna make a run, it's going to be because Skrapz is playing great. Back to BO4 Skrapz. I mean, we've been saying it this year, like he's kind of the key for them.
Yeah.
And playing with his twin brother. So I'm saying Skrapz is the most underrated player. So our last thing is the most improved player from last event. I'll kick us off. I think it's an easy pick for me if I have FaZe dominating this event. Priesta got smoked.
Yeah.
Priesta got smoked. I don't think I've ever seen Priesta play that bad last event. And he's going to be back firing on all cylinders, playing great for FaZe. So I got it's gotta be Priesta.
For me, I think I'm gonna go with Kenny. I feel
I
like
like it.
OpTic's gonna do better than what they have been. The new vibes with Chino and Chino kind of hyping up Kenny again, like they did back in World War II. I feel like Kenny's just kind of been not doing really anything on the map. He hasn't been doing bad, but he hasn't really been doing good. He's just been there. So I feel like Kenny is gonna be most improved.
Yeah.
Interesting. I can get behind that.
Mm-hmm. For me, I can see Kismet being most improved from when he last played. I'm just kind of going off of if Paris
has quite a bit of time.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So like maybe they figure some things out.
I'd be interested to see Paris making a run. That'd be fun.
Like you said, Kismet is definitely the X factor for this team. So if he's doing well, then he'd be very much improved from his last event, which I don't think he really did too much.
I just don't know if I see the upside with Paris's roster at this point. I mean, we
could not be.
I feel like at the beginning of the year we saw the upside, and now it's just like
it's kind of like
might
be there, it might not be there.
They were just the first team to start running 2 ARs on like Hackney, and like they started winning because of it. And I just don't feel like those advantages they had at the beginning of the year are there anymore. I don't know. But all right, guys. Unless you guys got anything else to say. Wrapping it up. This was a wild podcast. I mean, it was a marathon. Lots of going on here. The roster changes. We are excited. Oh, my word. I almost forgot. The Fantasy League.
Oh, yeah. join up.
All right, so this link in the description down below. The last week was a fun one. We talked about the winners and the best rosters from last week on the last pod. So the Draft Bust Fantasy, what's it called? Draft Royale.
Draft Royale. Mm-hmm.
So basically, it fills up quick. Only 100 people can be in it. So it filled up quick.
It does fill up quick.
Sam.
Couldn't quite in the kid last one.
Because after the podcast got out and then I posted it in the Discord, it filled up in within
So
30 minutes.
Yeah.
So make sure to join on this quick. At the y'all at the end of the podcast, I'll be on the lookout. Shout out to all you guys who are joining right now as we're talking. But all right, guys, as always, this has been the best of Call of Duty Esports Podcast. We appreciate you guys. Check us out on Twitter, SalvationsElite, Bo3, and ShadyNero. And we appreciate all the support. We really, really do. The likes, comments, everything else. But as always, guys, we appreciate the support. Like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and drop a review on Apple Podcasts.
Yes.
Shoot.
We do need one more to read. So please.
We will read them.
Just put it on there.
Next podcast.
Anything.
But as always, guys, I'm Josh, SalvationsElite. To my right is Bash_Bo3. And to our farthest right is Rex, ShadyNero. And we will see you in the next episode of the Best 3 Call of Duty Esports Podcast.
Whoa.
And we will see you in the next episode of the Best of 3 Call of Duty Esports Podcast. See ya.